Most people think a casino is a building you walk into. It isn't. It's a hierarchy you fall through. And depending on how much you're worth to it, you're either feeding the machine or you are the machine. Vegas is not one casino. It is 7 casinos stacked on top of each other. Most people only ever see the first one. One man saw all 7. He lost $127 million. He settled his debts for $100,000. And the casino paid a bigger fine than he did. This is what Las Vegas actually looks like, from the bottom to the top. Level 1, the tourist. The casino feels like vacation. The most important thing the casino floor has going for it is that it doesn't feel like a trap. Around 4 in 5 Vegas visitors gamble. They arrive with a budget, a schedule, and a reasonable belief that what happens next is entertainment. The casino modeled for exactly that person. The lights, the sounds, the open layout, none of it is accidental. The casino does not need you scared. It needs you comfortable. Relaxed people stay longer. Relaxed people take bigger risks. Here's the thing most tourists never understand. The house edge doesn't apply to your starting bankroll. It applies to every dollar wagered, every bet, every spin, every recycle of the same money across an evening. You can arrive with $300 and leave having technically wagered $4,000. The exposure is never as small as it feels. The most engineered environment in the building is the one that feels most like leisure. But at some point, a tourist stops watching and starts playing. And once that happens, the casino becomes something different. Level 2, the player. Losing starts to feel like participation. The slot machine makes you hope. The table makes you blame yourself. That is the real difference between level 1 and level 2. The slot is passive. The outcome happens to you. The table gives you decisions, hit or stand, fold or raise. And that feeling of agency changes everything. When you lose at a slot, bad luck lost. When you lose at a table, some part of your brain wonders if you played it wrong. And that question, did I play it wrong, is far more addictive than the machine, because it has an answer you'll keep coming back to find. Most players believe blackjack is the intelligent game, the one where knowledge matters. And at the right table, that's true. But many lower-limit Vegas tables now run 6-5 blackjack instead of the traditional 3-2 payout. That single rule change quietly adds 1.4 percentage points to the house's edge. Most players never notice. They walk up thinking they're playing the smart game. The rule set already changed the economics before a card was dealt. The player says, "I'm reading the table. The casino hears. Perfect." At some point, a player inserts a card, or the bets get large enough, and something shifts. The casino stops being a place you're visiting and becomes a system that is watching you. Level 3, the rated player. The casino turns you into data. The free room arrives and it feels like a reward. It isn't. It's a calculated reinvestment of a fraction of your projected future losses. This is the level most people never realize they've crossed. MGM's own documentation confirms that table comp rewards are based on game type, average bet, and length of play. Your session is being converted into a formula in real time. The casino doesn't just know how much you bet. In advanced environments, it knows how well you gamble. Whether your deviations from optimal strategies suggest you're a card counter or just someone having a lucky night. Your bank knows you spent money in Vegas. The casino knows your game, your average bet, your session length, and your tendencies. The casino has a more detailed profile of your behavior than your bank does. In 2006, a man named Terrence Watanabe began gambling regularly at Caesars Properties in Las Vegas. He had built and sold Oriental Trading Company. He had money, time, and no particular reason to stop. By 2007, the casino had noticed him in a way that had never happened before in Las Vegas history. We'll come back to him. Once you're rated, the door to the other casino opens, the one most visitors walk past without knowing it's there. Level 4, the high roller. Money buys better rooms, and sometimes better math. The high-limit room is the first physical proof that multiple casinos exist inside the casino. The noise drops, the furniture changes, the service response time shortens in a way you notice immediately. But the most important thing behind the velvet rope isn't comfort. It's that the rules can change. Favorable blackjack conditions at high-limit tables can bring the house edge below 0.5%, while the standard floor runs significantly higher. A man named Don Johnson understood this better than most. By negotiating specific rule modifications and a loss rebate directly with casino management, he turned VIP treatment into a mathematical edge in his own favor and won $15.1 million from 3 Atlantic City casinos. The velvet rope doesn't just separate the furniture. Sometimes it separates the mathematics. But at a certain spend level, the casino stops waiting for you to find the room. It sends a person. Level 5. The hosted player friendship becomes retention. A casino host is a concierge whose performance metric is your future expected loss. The warmth is genuine. The math behind it never stops running. Hosts receive compensation tied as a percentage of their clients' losses. The most successful ones maintain 70 or more active relationships. Every answered call, every remembered preference, every problem quietly solved before you noticed it. All of it is professional infrastructure designed to ensure you keep coming back. The relationship feels personal because it was engineered to feel that way. Terrence Watanabe didn't have a host. He had 2, assigned around the clock, exclusively to him. Caesars created a loyalty tier called Chairman that had never existed before, built for one customer. By September 2007, his credit limit at Caesars was at least $13 million. Level 5 is when Netflix stops being an app and assigns a human whose entire job is to make sure you never cancel. But above the host tier, the casino stops adapting to you. It starts reorganizing around you, entirely. Level 6, the whale. The casino reorganizes around one person. A whale is not defined by net worth. A whale is defined by action. Play volume so large the casino experiences them as a revenue event, not a customer. In 2007, Terrence Watanabe wagered more than $825 million at Caesars Palace and the Rio. He lost nearly $127 million. One man accounted for approximately 5.6% of Harrah's entire Las Vegas gambling revenue that year. What Caesars did in response to that number is documented. They gave him the largest suite at Caesars Palace, 2 dedicated hosts around the clock, security personnel who followed him not just inside the casino but everywhere in the city. If he disliked a dealer, a cocktail waitress, or a security officer, that employee was reassigned. He would not encounter them again. The property president allegedly issued a directive. Give him whatever he wants. No ceiling. No policy referenced. When the relationship began to deteriorate, Caesars offered him $1 million and raised his loss discount to 30%. In an attempt to keep him playing. A normal tourist buys chips. A whale rents an orbit. The casino had stopped being a venue. It had become a temporary operating system organized around one person. But the Watanabe story doesn't end with the suite. It ends with a number that makes everything before it look completely different. Level 7, the untouchable. The rules bend. Then the person breaks. This is what the physical world looks like at Level 7. The Palms Empathy Suite is 9,156 square feet. Designed by Damien Hirst. The art doesn't hang on the walls, it is the walls. Private pool, 13-seat bar, 2 massage rooms, butler available around the clock. Current reported rates sit around $100,000 per night. A week here crosses $1 million before you've ordered a drink. You do not check in through the lobby. The building routes you differently from the moment you arrive. This is not a hotel room with a higher thread count. It is a self-contained system designed to erase every reminder that you are a customer. The point is not comfort. The point is that at this level, the distinction between hotel guest and sovereign no longer applies. Now, the end of the Watanabe story. Between September and December 2007, he signed approximately $14.7 million in markers he later stopped paying. Criminal charges followed, 4 felony counts, up to 28 years in prison. He filed civil claims against Caesars, alleging that staff had supplied alcohol and pills while he was visibly impaired. Caesars disputed the allegations. The New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement later investigated, found no formal violation of responsible gaming policies, but found management behavior troubling enough to impose discipline and issue a fine. On the eve of the criminal trial in July 2010, both sides settled. The indictment was dismissed. The amount Watanabe paid to resolve $14.7 million in outstanding markers, $100,000. The casino paid a $225,000 regulatory fine, more than Watanabe reportedly paid to resolve the marker dispute. In 2017, Watanabe launched a GoFundMe for cancer treatment. In 2022, a production company acquired the rights to his story. The rules bent. Then the person broke. The tourist thinks the casino is a machine. The Untouchable discovers the casino is actually a servant. But that is the final trap. Because when the casino serves you, it does not mean you have escaped the machine. It means the machine has decided you are valuable enough to customize. At level 1, it gives you lights, sounds, and free drinks. At level 7, it gives you suites, private hosts, and rules that bend around your life. But the purpose never changes. One man saw all 7 levels. He became the casino's most valuable customer. He lost $127 million, settled his marker dispute for $100,000, and spent his final years asking strangers for help. What looked like hospitality was never freedom. It was the machine learning your price. If this was useful, subscribe. Las Vegas spent decades making sure most people never understood what you just watched.